Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Prep Talk Live, episode 10. We've officially hit double digits.
We did
The,
it. Awesome.
the series that no one thought would ever happen has made it to 10 episodes. Very exciting. We're starting a little bit earlier than normal because, again, it's our stream and we move it around. It's what we do. It's kind of our charm. We say 5:30 on Wednesdays, but, be prepared for the unexpected. It's a prepping show after all. Let's be ready for it.
Yep.
I'm Casey with Cascadia Dispatch. Joining me, as always, is the Urban Prepper. What is up, Tup? How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. Super busy with work and trying to balance, prepping with work stuff, with family stuff, with all extracurricular activities too. But all in all, doing pretty good. So
you and the extracurricular activities, there's all kinds of things happening, all kinds of things and stuff happening. You're a very busy guy.
I gotta keep busy. That's how it helps me get the juices flowing and get the energy and then when it's the end of the day, then I just totally conk out. So
yeah, exactly. Oh, look, here we go. It's not a stream without Pony Girl, and she even made it. We started a little early, and
is she on the right stream? Is she calling us good looking? So I don't...
Yeah.
I haven't heard that in years.
Yeah, exactly. It's been many decades. Yeah, since that has been a case. But there you go. We got lots of people coming in. Thanks again for joining us. So it's been an interesting week. We got snowstorms happening in Texas. That's a whole thing. We have snowstorms happening. Like, the only place I think we don't have snowstorms happening is in the Northwest, where I feel like we should have snowstorms happening. But
we don't have a lot of snowstorms. I mean, we get a little snow, but not like a snowstorm. Like,
but I feel like when we have a snowstorm, it makes the news. Like, if we just have snow in the forecast, it makes the news.
Yeah.
And now we got like Texas every year is snowpocalypse and ice sheets and no power and everything else. It's just nuts.
Yeah.
It's nuts, I tell you. So how was your week? Let's talk about our weeks. Let's talk about projects that we've done. I feel like I'm going out on a limb. I don't know that a lot of, I was gonna say there's not a lot of, but you launched some videos this week. You were very productive, my friend.
I had a busy week. Finally finished my my bicycle EDC video, which took me months to make. I don't know if it's not going viral or anything like that, but I had a really great time making it. And what most important, it was my son really enjoyed watching it and like kind of having that documented. That's like some of the videos that I do that they're not, in one way they're for the audience, but also there's kind of the timestamp things with myself and with the family. And those are the ones that we always, I don't usually rewatch videos that I make, but the ones that are with family, those ones are fun to reminisce on. So this one's kind of along those lines, but I had a lot of fun making it, and hopefully people like it over the long haul. So, but yeah, I've been working on that. I'm actively working on some color coordination. I got all sorts of goodies that working on some labels.
Oh my goodness!
And colors. I'm also working. I have a show and tell item for another video that I'm trying to finish by this weekend. It might end up getting bumped till next weekend. Also, exploring the fanny pack, doing a deep dive analysis into that, and so there's some stuff going on that too, which are pretty fun. So all in all, pretty good.
I have, first off, Pony Girl, thank you again. Like, again, I don't know if she's our number one fan or she's your number one fan, but like, I'm gonna absorb some of it just because I'm involved. But I feel like we can always count on Pony Girl to help us out with this sort of stuff. Yeah. Which also reminds me, we're gonna make Pony Girl a mod. We have to try to accomplish that.
Yeah, let me see if I can do that while we're talking. I'll see if I can multitask.
I love the kind of the I think for some people, I think the prepping videos and the videos they put out on YouTube and things like that are for a story or a topic or something like that. And I think there's a certain element too of just kind of like as a dad, like providing information to my kids and other people who might find it interesting, so that at a point in the future, if they come across it, they have instructions of how to do certain things or ways of thinking or any of that sort of stuff. So there are a few channels of kind of, I would consider it dad advice, dad in quotes, because there's mom advice and everything else, but there are some people and their channels are like dads talking to their kids. And I feel like those channels do really, really well. And I've thought a lot about, the things that you would prep for, but then even just like, prepping for, horrible knock on wood things that never happen. Like, okay, pieces of information that you would want to have for your kids as they get older. And you kind of have seen those stories and movies about people that like make diaries and write letters and stuff. And I've often wondered, like, okay, you have like a YouTube channel where we like put that sort of stuff out there for them in the future, and then, you know, for anyone else who was interested in
Yeah, one of the things I don't want to get too dark or anything, but uh,
it.
but I've always wanted to, as a prepper and like the thinking like ahead on things. I've always wanted to. I haven't done it yet. I probably should, but to have some videos that go out. Maybe not on my primary channel, but maybe on like a personal channel or something that kind of messages to family and kids that could get scheduled at different state, like on certain holidays or birthdays and stuff, just in case it's kind of like life insurance, just in case some I get abducted by aliens or something, and and you don't see me anymore. Maybe I could have those scheduled and have YouTube roll those out over a period of years. I've always thought about doing something along those lines, but that's kind of more doom and gloom. I try to avoid that if I can. So
I love the idea that it used to be like you'd make a videotape and like you'd put it to the side and like,
yeah,
you know, a message or whatever. And now it's like, look, I'm gonna make videos on YouTube. I'm gonna have a separate channel. We're gonna schedule them and I'm gonna roll
yeah.
them out, and it's gonna be a whole thing. And I'll have social posts that will notify them of all the things.
And
I feel like
you could delete, like, let's say, oh, if that thing's going to go live tomorrow, I bet I'll kind of delete that. I'm still around here, but like the 2026 video, let me keep that there just in case something happens. So
you know, that is a really interesting. I think there's something there
is that too dark, or
around.
is that like I
Look,
don't?
I think last time we went a little dark too at the beginning,
Yeah,
and
we
we
went
pulled
dark. Yeah,
the whole beginning of our shows now recently has gone dark at the beginning, and then we pull it out with craziness at the end, I think.
yeah. I think
Um,
we're doom and gloomers.
we
I think now on this.
we started off as the bad boys of prepping because we weren't doom and gloom and we were smiling, and now we just laugh and smile as we talk about the doom
Yeah,
and gloom,
that's all you
apparently.
could do. That's all you could really do. Like a lot of the stuff that people really freak out about. I mean, there's not a whole bunch you could do about it. Like stuff like stuff going on in different countries and stuff across the world. Like, I mean, what am I gonna do? Like,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I can't control it, so I can only really worry about the stuff that I can control. So,
Ladies
uh,
and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed the last prepping videos from the Urban
yeah,
Prepper and myself. As you've heard from him, there's nothing we can do about it, so we might as
we're
well.
all screwed. Well, we can prepare and stuff, but I can't spend a whole bunch of time, really, hyper focusing on it and getting super worried. But
You're not preparing to go take oil from the Russians in Ukraine,
get
or
get me on the call with the
exactly.
president of whatever.
You're not flying over to China to mine lithium for the batteries that we won't have.
Yeah.
And okay, I understand. That
So
seems
maybe on my channel, like if you ever see a video, like let's say 10 years go by and you haven't seen a video from me for a while for whatever reason, maybe you'll see this one that's, hey everyone, this is Cliff. It's the year 2022, and if you're seeing this video, something happened, and I just want to thank everyone for. Maybe I'll do something like that, and
it,
that'll be super epic prepper type stuff. So,
it's going to be like Lost. Like you
yeah,
have to type in the code, or we all get the video. um,
yeah.
Look, you know what? We prepared, but it was a good run, everyone. We prepared. It didn't work out. It is what it is.
Oh, and by the way, I was able to make Pony Girl a mod. So Pony Girl's a mod, at least on the Got Preps channel. So
Fantastic,
your channel,
everyone.
I don't know. I don't know what's going. It's the wild
My
wild west over there. So
exactly. My channel is the wild wild west.
yeah,
Yours a little bit more under control.
yeah. We have
I
a
went.
friendly crowd. We've weeded out all the trolls and all those people. They find me pretty boring, I think. So
I think what we need to do is get Pony Girl like a second computer or something, so she
yeah,
can mod on both channels at the same time.
I think so.
Um,
See,
Jeremiah, I
yeah,
love the
prepping
Fisher
for
Price.
prepping for time travel. I see. That's
Oh,
maybe that.
yeah, we had the Fisher Price of prepping to Doomers, and then we had prepping to time travel.
Yeah, I like
Um,
it. I'll,
it-
I'll make a PDF about how to do it. how to prep for time
time
travel.
travel. By the way, so coming out of last week and the bougie prep,
Yeah.
I think okay, Doomers is going to be another shirt I'm going to have
Yeah,
to
that's a
make.
good one. You have all
I
sorts of
think
good
that
shirt ideas.
God, the merch that no
Yeah,
one's going to buy, it's going to be
yeah.
amazing.
You're gonna make
Uh,
dozens of dollars. Dozens.
it's just going to show that because I have to pay for shipping to send them to myself. That's what's going to happen. So you had a big week with your movie and video and all the things, the fanny packs. My week was underwhelming when it comes to the prepping world. Life kind of happened and things got kind of
How
busy.
was your
So You know what, Cliff? Thank you for asking. I'd love to tell you. So yeah, so there was not a whole lot of prepping things that were going on. We had some family stuff that was going on with just lots of appointments and things, and work happened, and it got super busy. Um, so yeah, so I am hoping this weekend to actually clear out our garage and do a bunch of stuff on that front. I also started researching. We have some dietary changes happening in our family.
Cool.
And so I'm looking for some new emergency food supplies. We kind of got some a few years ago. We got the Wise buckets because my son had some allergies and my wife had some allergies. So we were doing that. And now we need to get a little more restrictive on what we have when it comes to some of the seasonings and the preservatives and things like that. So looking for some new brands to test out and some new options. My wife actually mentioned to me the other day, she's like, you might get to buy that freeze dryer, that Harvest Right, if things continue down the path that are going on. And I was like, don't you tempt me, woman. Don't tempt me with buying the Harvest Right freeze dryer. Because I have threatened to do that many, many times. And she has held me back at Coastal Farm and Ranch from doing it. But I think that might be on the horizon at some point. So we're looking for those sorts of things. I'm looking for a meat slicer so we can do some jerky, because we like to do that, but we never really can get it cut right. So it was kind of a food research week, I guess you could say, from a prepping standpoint.
Yeah, it's R&D. That's part of like in software engineering. There's some research involved, so that's an important part of it. So
yeah, and Pony Girl, I love that. I love that. We'll figure that out. We'll make that work. I think we can. We can make that happen. So yeah. So let's talk about show and tell. Let's talk about it's the preps for me. And unfortunately, we have a time constraint this week, so we got to keep everything moving.
yeah,
I gotta be the time clock monitor to make sure that we get everybody out of here on time. So let's do show and tell. So Tup, you got a video coming out. What are you showing and telling, and what is your
let me get it really quick.
Is it a revised Prepper Bulge?
It's I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing back the Life Fest survival kit. And the first one was a prototype, but since I did it 6 years ago, and with some of the tsunamis and stuff coming back, I decided it's time to make sure that we're ready for V1. So there's some new additions to it. So I thought I'd show some of the revisions to the tsunami. I'm going to rebrand it the Tsunami Survival Kit, because there's tsunamis are the thing right now. So one of them that a lot of people were recommending was, I have a lot of knives, but I don't have a lot of blunt knives, like ones that have a blunt tip. And so for my survival, for this, I wanted to make sure that I had a blunt tip that's meant for kind of a seawater. So this is a Gerber knife for if you were in a tsunami, if you were roped off, for example, you would you don't want to cut yourself and stuff. So for a lot of like the life boats and survival boats and things like that, they have more of a blunt tip knife. So I've made that addition to the survival kit. I'm not going to give everything away here. Let's see, what could I share?
Okay? While you're searching for all the other goodies, because now I'm super intrigued by this whole thing.
Yes.
The blunt tip. I think you should and model it. Give us a spin.
Yeah, I'll put it on.
Yeah. Is that the blunt tip so that you don't poke the raft?
Exactly. That's why they make it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess you could slice the raft, but you don't want to poke it.
So do you have a raft as well?
No, I don't have a raft, but this is more for if I've always been afraid of tidal waves and flooding and tsunamis. I don't know why. That's one of the things. That's one of my things. So, so now when we go to the ocean and stuff, I always want to make sure I have flotation devices. And in our vehicles, I have the Rescue Me, and I have some certain flotation devices in there. But another thing that I've been adding to it is I wanted some extra rope, and so I have now a rope kit for my tsunami kit. And this one is a nice. It's the NRS, which is used for a lot of lifeboats and stuff. But basically 75 feet of rope, and inside of that, I'm going to be storing some additional preps in there, like a orange flare, which was missing previously, in addition to the life straw, and the life straw super popular. So those are in there. This is kind of this is like the go bag to the tsunami survival kit. So those
This
are
is
some
fan this
those are
is
some sneak
fantastic.
peeks. I'm working on the filming right now. I was doing some testing in the shower with this because I wanted to test a lot of the testing I do. I can't like go to the ocean or anything, so I have to do what I can. So, and my wife was like, "Why is there all this rope in the shower?" And I just wanted to test some of the uh, messing with wet rope, basically. So,
Okay,
uh,
just so we're clear, I'm taking that clip and I'm putting it on TikTok. And when it
okay,
gets to 8 million views because
okay,
you're talking about wet rope in the shower with your wife,
yeah.
this is fantastic.
She was
I feel like you
she
did
was
it.
pissed that there was rope 75 feet of rope in the shower. She's
She's like, we don't need rope in the shower.
Yeah, we don't.
We're fine.
There's no
We're
reason for it. But I got some other. I've made other modifications to the kit, and so I'm trying to get that filmed. If I don't finish it this week, I'll post it the following weekend. So
That is fantastic.
yeah,
I
that's
I
anyway.
feel
That's
like
my show and tell. That's kind of like sneak peek show and tell stuff. But
that's high end show and tell right there.
should I just wear this the rest of the stream?
I not only do I think you should wear it for the rest of the stream, I don't know where you're going after this, but I think you should wear it to that too.
I'm going to a bar, so yeah,
I feel like that would be appropriate.
yeah, I think I like
And
it.
bring the rope with you. Who knows what could happen?
Yeah.
Um,
Well, what did you bring for show and tell?
what did I bring for show? Well, you know what? Thank you for asking. I'd love to tell you. Um, I brought because last week was the bougie preps. I
Yeah,
brought the budget preps today.
nice,
So this is I found these and I thought this is an absolute gimmick and it will never work. And it is fantastic. And I have a bunch of them now and I love them. So it is the Tesla. They're not Tesla. It says Tesla on it, but it's a plasma lighter. And so
nice.
when you I don't know if this is going to show up on camera. Are you able to see that on camera? The little X, the
Yeah.
little
So is that
uh
like the site?
yeah, so it makes like electrical current that goes into the I'm doing it backwards to myself and realizing that the camera's on the other side. So one of
Yeah.
these days I'll figure out how to stream. So it makes this kind of X pattern with electricity of some sort. I think it's plasma. I don't really know the science, but it's
Yeah.
electrical and it's like when you go to the science museum and there's like the ladder with the little sparks going up the two posts. I think it's called like a Jacob's ladder or something. I don't know. It's sciencey. You push a button and you go ooh and it goes up. Anyway, same idea. It makes these little electrical current things here. And so you can put like a candle wick or you can put like a paper towel or something and it will light it on fire. What's cool about it is because it's using this plasma electrical current thing, um, it's windproof, it's rainproof. It doesn't matter if it's raining, the wind isn't going to blow the flame out.
Nice.
So you can use it and it'll charge with a USB, a micro USB. So if
That's awesome.
you're, yeah, so you can charge it off of a um, battery bank. You can charge it off of a generator. You can charge it a bunch of different ways. But it's great. So we use this a lot of times if we're like lighting candles or something. We'll actually use this instead of like one of those little flamethrowers or matches or something because it's just easier. And we also use it with the kids if they're lighting something because there's no flame. It's not going to drip on them.
Yeah.
They just can kind of use the X and put it on top and it'll light the wick and go. So, and they're not super expensive. I think this was like $12 when I got it.
Are we
Off
going to add a
Amazon.
link to the chat room or something, or is that
You
can we
know,
do? Are we that high tech?
God, we should. I
I don't know
don't
what to
have it.
search for on it. I could look for it on Amazon while we're
I-
going. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I have it on the site on Cascadia Dispatch. I have a couple of different pages with like my favorite things and gift guides and stuff, and I put this on all of those pages and sites because I think it's just it's a great budget prep that accomplishes a lot of different things. So I'm just looking to see
yeah,
right
I'm looking
here.
too.
Amazon finds for preppers and non-preppers. Yep, that is a thing that I put together. Here we go. Tesla coil lighter. Yep, I'm gonna grab the URL and I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Nice.
So yeah, so they're right now they're $17. There's a bunch of different colors and patterns and things. But it's yeah, it's a very cool thing. I like it a lot. Can't post messages to show. Well, we'll see what happens. It's not posting. If you're watching on Facebook, you're not going to be able to see this.
It
But
looks like it has good ratings too.
yeah. No, it's yeah.
Like I don't buy something unless it has like 4.5 stars. Like I'm not gonna buy it. So this is good. So this is good. You're right there. You're right at the
yeah.
mark. So.
You know what? I try to do that. So yeah. But anyway, any of the other things that we've talked about, I've got kind of a top finds list on the website with just a bunch of different things so that it's easy to find that sort of stuff. But yeah, so we'll do that. Next week when we do this, we'll make sure to have all of the links in advance, and we'll put them in the chat at the beginning. That's what we should do.
We're getting better and better as we go on this. So.
We are, and thank you all for humoring us and hanging in with us as we continue this journey down the road. So yeah, so I think that I think wraps up our show and tell. I think we've covered all the things.
I'm gonna keep the life vest on during it just for safety purposes.
You know what? You don't want to. I will not go and spend the night at the coast anymore. We used to go and do. I don't need to.
It freaks me out. Like I think the ocean is so intimidating. Like it's relentless. I'm just scared.
And with the whole Cascadia subduction zone thing and everything, it's just too real. It's like I'm worried about parking in parking garages in downtown Portland because of a building collapse or something. I'm gonna go out to the ocean where the waves are. Like, come on now.
Yeah, so right in the line of fire. It's I find it to be risky. So every time I go, I have some. I'm probably the dorky guy there, but I have some preps with me. So
yeah, exactly. You got to do that. So the preps for me. So one of the things we wanted to talk about this week that we talked about for this area was things that we have learned since we started prepping that we would either tell our past selves to avoid, whether that's gear that we bought that was just a bad idea or things that we thought were important but didn't. I called it in the title, wasted money, fails and disasters, things we wish we would have done, part 1. Because I feel like this is a topic that we will come back to a few times because there's probably lots and lots of these things that learning lessons and things. But I figured we'd kick it off with like 2 things that didn't work out according to plan, or we found better plans for later on. So do you want to start with one? We'll go back and forth.
Yeah, we can go. Yeah, we can go.
Robin.
If you want, round robin. Things wasted money. I spent a lot of money on the ferrocerium rods, like I don't know. Everyone said you have to include them in the kits, and I've never had to use one ever. Like because I would rather just have my Bic lighter. I'd rather have the Tesla coil pet thing that you had over there. But I found that I went and got all the super fancy ones, the blast match, all those things. They're good for practice, but I felt like to be like in a practical standpoint, like as an urban prepper, I haven't really needed them. So now I'm to the point where I think they're overrated, and I've spent a lot of money on like the best of the best ones because I thought that I needed one as a badge of honor to be in a prepper, but the Bic lighter just makes much more sense to me.
Exactly. And, if you can't strike fire, then you're basically you're done.
I mean, if I find myself in a situation where I need to use like a bow drill or something like that, I'm gonna be screwed. Like I'm not I think preppers don't equal survivalists. Like survivalists, like the guys that eat the bugs and do the bow drills and all that kind of stuff. Like the trapping, that's different than a prepper. Like prepper, I don't want to have to eat bugs and use a bow drill and all that kind of stuff.
Would that make them prepper adjacent?
They're prepper adjacent, but a lot of people they equate like preppers and survivalists with each other, like they're equal, and they're totally not. Like there's crossover, and some survivalists are also preppers too, but it doesn't mean that's that. So anyway, I spent a lot of money on ferrocerium rods and for kits because I thought I had to. So
yes, you know what? I also did the same thing. It's like there's like you got to get the Mylar blankets, even though like they're flimsy and you're like you're starting off, you just get all of that stuff. It's kind of like going to the camping aisle at like Fred Meyer or like Walmart or something, and there's that brand that has the green labels, and they're like everywhere.
Coghlan's.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, okay, you just get all of those things, and then you realize that they make better versions other places, and so I think my thing was when it comes to water, I got these things called aquatainers because I thought that I had heard that those were the best water carrying things. And they have like a faucet on the front that you can use and stuff. So they were cool looking, but they carry 7 gallons of water. And I did
Yep.
not anticipate how heavy that would
That's
be.
super heavy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like it's got a handle and you're supposed to be ready to like move them around, but they weigh like 50 or 60 pounds and they take up a ton of space. Um, so yeah, so those were a little on the spendy side. And then because we needed as many as we needed, I think I bought 6 or 8 of them. And we filled them up once and they sat in our garage and they didn't move and I hated them. And then one of them cracked and leaked. So I have gotten rid of all of those and replaced them now with the 5 gallon or the 3 gallon round ones that you get like for office coolers. And then they make a pump that you could get on Amazon that'll
Mhm.
actually go in it and turn that into a faucet or whatever. So I actually like those a little bit better just for space and for moving around and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, if we're going round robin still, like I think
Yep.
what like if I could do it over again, I probably wouldn't start with like the bug out bag. Again, the bug out bag is a good gateway into prepping. I think EDC is a better start place, but I
Hmm.
think I would have done a greater emphasis towards home prepping type strategies over the bug out bag because really I don't want to leave my home if I don't have to. Like that's like the last scenario. But as far as for kind of if we're talking fails as far as wasted money, I think that like not buying like quality stuff right off the get-go, like going like I think I started off doing a lot of like Dollar Tree type stuff just to try to go rapid fire for or the Walmart type things. And there's some that are just like the with the Mylar blankets or there's some that are just better quality. Like if you spend a little bit more so it lasts, so you can actually trust it in an emergency situation. Because I had some other early generation bags and kits and stuff that I put a bunch of cheap stuff in and it like when I needed it, like even like a screwdriver, I had the screwdriver just totally warp on me, like when I actually needed it for an emergency or something else. Like so, I would if I could do it over again, I would just totally not do like the not go. I'd rather save up and get the quality thing that I know it's going to last. That if it was an emergency, I know it's going to work, versus going rapid fire. Uh, you know, Walmart, dollar store, those kind of things to piece together things. Now you can do that, I think, as if you're building it up and then slowly replacing those. I mean, something's better than nothing. But I've had a lot of fails with just cheap crap that just broke down like very quickly.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think especially if people are new to prepping, there's usually like an event that starts. If they haven't grown up with it, if it hasn't been part of their life, and all of a sudden they decide, oh my goodness, I need to do this, which is what happened for me. It was like within like 3 hours, we found ourselves at Dick's Sporting Goods just trying to
Yeah,
get stuff because it was like it became less about like how good the thing was. It was more about we need to check off some boxes and have the function and then we'll do quality. And I wish that I would have known at that point to just be like, hold on a second, ask a couple more people, and then go out and get some quality stuff and trust that that's going to be a better option
yeah,
than some of the stuff. You know, I think we got like a tent that was on sale at the very beginning, and it was like a dome tent. We didn't have a tent. We had no camping supplies of any kind. And so we got whatever tent they had at, I think it was Dick's Sporting Goods. Because that's where we were. Or maybe it was at Cabela's and it was on sale and it wasn't even the Cabela's brand. It was some other brand, but I was like, well, we maybe never need it, and so we'll grab it. We have never used it. It has never been out of the package. It's still all there. You know, if we ever needed it, you know, we kind of keep it as like a backup to a backup to a backup.
yeah,
But you know, we've since gone and done the like Costco, you know, the dome, the big tents that you can actually fit in and are easy to put together, the easy up tents and some of that sort of stuff. Um, which we didn't know at the time. But you know, had I known, I would have not bought that other tent and just spent that money on some other things. So
yeah.
yeah, it's a learning process.
I think, I'm going around robin still. So like another one is
Okay.
getting stuff like when you're putting these prepping kits together and try to have it something you might actually use. Like when I put like this kit, for example, like my lifeboat survival kit, it, I didn't want to just make that and then store it in the garage, and then I just had all this money that you put in that, and it's there. And like I got it because I knew I was going to be doing kayaking for the summer, and that I had other like outdoor activities that required having this. So I think trying to find ulterior motives isn't the right phrase to say, but like when you're getting your various prepping things going or your purchases, try to have it be a kind of 2-for-1. Like it's something that you want to use, like a power bank, but your long term, you could also use it for prepping. And so ensuring that getting started, that all of your prepping purchases have are kind of 2-for-1ers. Like, yeah, it could be used for prepping if need be, but also I have this purpose that I could use it now, and I feel like I'm actually getting my money's worth out of it now versus like having it in storage and it's just sitting there. And then, oh yeah, I forgot about I had this. I wish I wouldn't have spent $300 to have this sit in the closet. So
Yeah. So, and I think the last one for me is keeping things similar, not having everything be different. And like an example would be like flashlights. I know you love yourself some flashlights.
yeah,
I love myself some flashlights. But if all your flashlights require different batteries, then you're always kind of
I always have a flashlight nearby. So
good. Then you end up having to store and prepare for multiple types of batteries, and
Yep.
those batteries are going to go bad, and everything else. You're not going to use all the flashlights. So I've tried to since then. How many flashlights do you have on your person? It's it's not really an EDC. It's just
yeah,
Tup's flashlights.
there's just
other
flashlights
stuff.
everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. I think also the like things like Leathermans and other tools and equipment where you might have it, and you're gonna want to have the same thing in multiple spots. And so if you have a different version in every spot, you have to remember how to use all the different versions, as
Yeah,
opposed to if it's all the same, try it, make sure you like it, and then lots of times I'll order something. If I like it, then I'll order 2 or 3 or 4 more over a period of time and put them in the cars and all over the place. So keeping things similar and easy to use,
totally.
I think is important.
Yeah, a common battery cell would be is nice to have. So
Yeah.
everything that you have works within a system. It's not just like individual
Yeah. You don't
that don't
want,
work with each other. So,
we don't want one-offs.
no.
So yeah, so I think tonight, because of the time, I'm looking at the time. I'm checking on the time. I
Yeah, I think
told
we have time for some Q&A, I think, right? Or some
yeah, if
where
we
we could go rogue, go freestyle and just talk about whatever. So,
isn't that called the rest of the show? I
yeah,
feel like
that's kind of what we specialize in. So I have
uh,
more flashlights. I have a lantern nearby. I have
where
a
do you
light
where do
bulb
you
nearby.
Tup, where do you store the light bulb and the lantern as your part of your EDC? That's so close
Currently, they've been
by.
on my desk for a little bit. Actually, my daughter stole this, and then she noticed that the battery is going out, so she wanted to let me know on that one. So I need to. But again, this is like a D cell battery, and it doesn't. This is the only thing I have that's for D cell batteries. So there's some lantern. So
Yeah, I tried to kind of move everything over to AA and AAA. We have a couple of big lantern things that are D's. But if you have like A's and double A's and triple A's and B's and C's, B's don't exist, but C's and D's and 9
yeah,
volts, everything else, it kind of becomes problematic just to store that many backup batteries for all of the things that you may or may not actually use.
yeah. I see someone was asking about the crazy survival knife from Harbor Freight. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a Rambo knife somewhere around here that I got from for early generation bug out bag, and it was I've never had to use it. So
Yeah. Now, when you're talking about the survival knife, is it just the like serrated Bowie knife, or are we talking about the one that you would get like was in like the scouting magazines
yeah,
when you were growing up, where you like undo the bottom and it has like a
exactly.
compass on the end?
Yeah, like the Rambo kind. Yeah, the Rambo where you have some fishing line and you have some
Mhm.
whatever else you want to store in there, Tic Tacs or stuff like
all of the equipment that you want to trade out in the
Yeah,
future, because it was all
store some batteries in there. Yeah.
exactly. I bet there was a ferro rod on the outside of it,
There
just
is
in case.
definitely a ferro rod with all of those ones. The survival knives, if it's like a combination survival knife, it always has a striker for that. So
Yeah. All right. Well, it is coming to the end of the show, and as much as we would love to do more show and tell and more Q&A, We got to let Tup go. He's
I'm
got
gonna go to the
very
bar. I'm gonna go to a bar. I'm gonna see some
yeah,
people, some
exactly.
friends, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna wear my life vest, and then you'll
you
be okay.
absolutely have to do that and then send us pictures. I think
Yes.
that's key. So if you haven't already, which we haven't mentioned it yet, go ahead and hit the like button on your way out. Hit the subscribe button to all the channels and things. Stay tuned. We'll be back next week, next Wednesday, probably closer to our regular time, but who knows? It could happen. It
You
could be
never know.
very different. Yeah, exactly. We try to be on. We try to like let you know when we're going to be there, but part of the fun is that you never know.
Well, yeah, I
So
think approximately around this time. But yeah, you never know. Like sometimes my boss does not care about my YouTube
yeah,
career, so
exactly.
I don't care if you have a live stream with Cascadia. So
Look for Prep Talk Live coming approximately next week.
yeah, I think
Sometime.
Wednesday. I think we're good. So
Yeah. So anyway, thanks a lot for joining us again. Again, 10 episodes. Who knew?
man, nice.
Next stop is 100 episodes because we got to get to triple digits now.
Yep.
So that'll be a ways off, but we'll get there. So anyway, thanks a lot for joining us. We'll see you next week and talk to you later. Bye.
See ya.